Welcome to Go See the Sky, only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Vanessa Ybarra. Well, every year, the folks here at the Squamish SPCA help hundreds of dogs and cats find their forever home. On today's show, we'll talk to organizers about the current need here in town, also other events you can take part in to help them out, and of course, introduce you to a cat and dog needing to find their forever home. Speaking of animals, we're also heading up to Whistler on today's show, where we'll introduce you to a unique program helping rehabilitate sled dogs. It's all here, and it's all local on Go See the Sky. Okay, I'm here with Marika Donnelly, branch manager at Squamish SPCA. A busy time, not one of your busiest, you're saying, but still always busy here. You have 14 cats in total between your shelter and your a program, yes. 6 up for adoption. Yeah, speak about that. How much does it fluctuate throughout the year of animals up for adoption?
It's hard to say how many animals we will have and won't have at one time. In our busiest times, which is usually height of kitten season, August, September, it's not unheard of for us to have 70 animals on hand at a time. So it's up and down. We care for about a little over 300 animals a year on average, though.
Yeah, busy here, and that's been all over the news also, this problem with the influx of cats, stray cats.
Yes.
What kind of led to this? Or what's one of the reasons, would you say?
Well, the main catalyst for the cat overpopulation issues is lack of spay and neuter. We'll just need to...
Bob Barker would say,
yes,
yeah, spay and neuter.
Spay and neuter your cats, and especially cats, but obviously dogs too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we'll show you some of those dogs later in the show. One special dog you can adopt. But the dogs and animals that come to you, what are their kind of plethora of reasons? Unfortunately, some come from maybe a bad family home, but are there other ways they come here?
A lot of times, kittens are usually unwanted litters of kittens because mama cat was not spayed or neutered, had an oopsie litter. Adult cats can range from people are moving, medical issues, some sort of behavioral problem that we then work on. And yeah, some are unfortunately through cruelty type investigations or issues, but yeah, some are strays.
Yeah, lots to adopt hopefully in the next year or so. So we'll let you know later on the end of the show where you can go to actually adopt them, find a link online. But let's throw to our first story here on Go See the Sky. Twitter was abuzz with Squamish trending here in town earlier this month, where top social media minds gathered to discuss the best ways to stand out online. Let's take a look. Hundreds of social media minds recently gathered at Quest University for the first annual Canadian Internet Marketing Conference, some coming from as far as Eastern Canada and Brazil to hear tech experts speak on all things social media.
I felt a sense of agency that I could actually help kind of usher in or shape the future.
It's kind of my first marketing conference, so it's really interesting to come in and see so many different trains of thought.
We're learning lots of new things and being surrounded by a little bit younger generation than we're used to. That's what I've loved so far today.
I'm really excited that they're pushing the envelope with sort of what's coming up in the future and not just what we've been talking about for the last 5 years.
Over 40 world-class speakers took to the stage for the 2-day event, from merging PR with social media,
a good PR strategy leads to great SEO.
The future of print.
It's less about thinking the death of print, is print going to survive, but rather who it is you're trying to reach.
To turning blogging into a profession.
I think the right question to start with is how do I build up my brand?
It was an information expo for these entrepreneurs, marketers, and of course media personalities looking to stay ahead in today's digital age, one that's becoming more competitive by the minute.
A lot of small, medium-sized businesses understand that they need to adapt to the way that the consumers are searching for products and services. And it's shifting so quickly in terms of the technology. We wanted to bring together a platform for business owners, marketing departments to get together and just get right up to speed.
Creating a unique identity, one of the main themes throughout the weekend. With most of us now owning one of these, most of today's entrepreneurs and media are expected to keep up a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram profile, all the while, of course, actually running a business on the side. With 500 million Twitter users worldwide, over 1 billion Facebook users, we're now more plugged in than ever before. And so the question remains,
think having your own voice and setting aside your own passion, your own point of view, your own photos, your own video, and having your own brand.
Basically being the purple cow in a sea of black and white. So you figure out your unique brand, your unique niche, and then you just market like crazy on as many different platforms as possible.
Definitely to be yourself. You want to have your personality shine through and have that authentic vibe online so people know who they're following.
Second question, we were saying there's always, for everything you should do, there's probably 10 things you shouldn't do online today. What are the definite no-nos?
I think one of the big no-nos is if it's all about self-promotion, because I think social media, blogging is all about the community and also adding value to your readers, your listeners, your viewers.
I think it's knowing my audience. So I know that I should never write about bottled water. That's a big topic my readers do not like.
Most of my photos do involve wine, do involve nights out with the girls, also the family photos as well, because it is a family blog, but nothing crazy. Obviously, you don't want to post pictures that you're going to regret the next day.
With Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Flickr, and Tumblr among the sites adding new features and content almost every month, keeping up and sending out the latest information can be overwhelming for even the most seasoned techie. For these pros, it's all about keeping it simple.
I use Hootsuite for scheduling tweets. There's other services you can use to schedule your tweets ahead of time. And I think when you have that mindset of, I want to sit down and do some writing, write 5 posts, not just 1.
With my Instagram app, I find that's really effective because with Instagram, you can actually post once and it spreads to all these social media. So on Facebook, Twitter, even Flickr, Tumblr, etc.
I tend to tweet or Facebook at least 3 times a day, and I know, so breakfast, before the kids get up, around lunchtime, and in the evening as well. You don't even think about it, it becomes second nature.
That's second nature, one CIMC organizers and speakers hope to pass along to today's ever-expanding online community, creating new tools, audiences, and most importantly, mindsets every tweet of the way. If you missed it on this year's CIMCs, don't worry, they've already announced next year's lineup. It's taking place April 14th till 16th right here in town again. If you'd like to learn more about that event, visit digitalbuzz.ca. Okay, well, lots of buzz or purring, I should say, going on in this room. This is Gladys. She's been at the shelter for a few months now. Tell us a little bit about Gladys, Marika.
So Gladys is lovely. As you can see, super sweet and cuddly. She's a lovely older cat. She's about 10 years old. She is finally ready for adoption. She came to us from some little bit of disadvantaged situation. She had a pretty bad urinary tract infection. It took about a month to recover from, and then being an older cat, she did need some dental work attended to. So just had a dental cleaning.
Only but a goodie.
Yeah, oh, she's lovely. Lovely. Got the clean bill of health, and now she's finally ready to find her new home.
Ready to go into a home. I was going to say, we joke on social media and stuff, all the cat photos, everything. People love cats. Who are the people you usually see adopting, say, someone like Gladys?
It varies. It really does. Oh,
I'm just going to leave us. We did pretty good.
Yeah. So it really varies with older cats. Sometimes it all depends on the animal's personality. Most people, of course, are excited when they see baby animals, kittens, but we get those awesome families that come in and they see an older cat and they know this one needs a home, so let's go ahead and
they live many years.
Do an adoption.
They've got many years to go, for sure.
Yeah, a cat like Gladys that's now had all her issues tended to should have quite a few years ahead of her.
And if someone wanted to adopt Gladys, it's very important if you want to be a pet owner to really take the time to think about, am I the right person for this?
Absolutely.
What are some things to consider before adopting?
Consider the time that you have, especially if you're not sure whether to go for a cat or a dog. Totally different ends of the spectrum. You've got to really make sure the amount of time you have. You have to take into account the financial issues that come with owning an animal as well, and then think of your housing situation, everything like that. What we try to do at the shelter is we do have a matching program, so we have a adoption questionnaire that prospective adopters fill out, and we try to make sure that the animal they're interested in is a good fit for them and their family.
Right. Another great way is to come volunteer here and just get a first-hand look.
Absolutely.
Sounds
Even just popping by and spending time with the cats.
Pop on by.
We encourage people to to spend a lot of time before they decide to adopt.
Yeah,
Come
really
and
give it
spend
some
some time
thought.
with the animals here.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll show you more animals as well after the break. A special canine needing a forever home. But let's throw to our next story of the day here. Just like cuddling with cats, another great thing to cuddle up with is a nice cup of tea. Let's throw things over to Jen Moranitz, who's learning about a special tea made by the Squamish people.
With tender care, Cease Weiss delicately harvests leaves of mullein. She says, in her language, haichka, to give thanks to the plants.
Why I do that is because they're living beings and you're asking to take their life. Haichka.
But she's taking their lives for a good reason.
Once I dry this out, it would make probably about 20 cups of tea.
In other words, a medicine to help clear phlegm from the lungs.
So this is soft and fuzzy, and when you look in a microscope, it has soft, tiny little hairs, and when you look in the microscope of a lung, what you see are soft, tiny hairs called villi.
Cease is a member of the Squamish Nation. Toitstonot is her traditional name, which translates to medicine woman, and she knows a lot about the plant medicines growing in this North Vancouver community garden on the Squamish Nation Reserve.
We use the bark from the red willow for pain.
From willow trees to rose hips to dandelions.
We just harvest what is usually most people's idea of weeds, but they're medicinal plants.
Cease has been sharing the teachings of plants for nearly 3 decades, both in the field and now at the Capilano Herbal Apothecary, a newly opened Indigenous tea shop in Vancouver.
We're really a community hub of Indigenous knowledge where people can connect to the land, connect to traditional ways of medicine and wellness, and we're really excited about sharing those.
Bring all of our collective knowledge.
The shop is owned by Cease, her cousin Michelle Nahaney, and their 2 daughters. It's a business aiming to make Aboriginal teachings more mainstream.
It's something that, we want more people to know about. We want to save the knowledge and make sure that people care about it.
So I'm starting with yarrow flowers, and I put a nice little amount in there.
With intention, Cease mixes yarrow flower, red clover with dandelion and burdock roots to make a cleansing tea blend.
Where I like to put some good energy in there and rub them. It feels good on the hands.
She says the colors, textures, and shapes of the plants correlate to parts of our body.
Plants with red have the power for your blood, your muscles, and your organs. The plants that are yellow deal with the bile in our stomach. They deal with the liver, how it functions, and they deal with the urinary tract.
Cease takes these ancient beliefs into consideration while mixing the tea and picking the plants.
Beautiful, soft mullein.
Her experience with plants has given her the nickname Indigenous Plant Diva, a title she is living up to by helping preserve the culture of the Squamish people through plant medicine.
Indigenous Plant Diva to the max.
In North Vancouver, I'm Jen Moranitz for Shaw TV.
Coming up after the break.
Part of what we're going to explore here is what it is that makes this place so special for the salmon.
How one center is getting kids back into the great outdoors. Welcome back from the break. We're here in Go See the Sky, cuddling up with some furry friends here at Squamish SPCA, and joining me once again is Marika Donnelly here at the shelter. And we got a little furry friend. Tell us about Kai here.
Yes, so Kai is one of our foster dogs.
He's not having it.
She has been in foster with us since February. She's recovering from a skin condition called demodictic mange. So she kind of epitomizes our need for foster care and foster homes for animals that end up staying with us longer than we expect before they're able to go up for adoption.
Is that most animals that come here just that have a period of first few months before they can actually be adopted? Or?
No, it all depends on the animal. We don't have dog kennels, so all of our dogs and puppies go into foster care. But we do get those special needs ones, and we've got a handful of animals in foster right now that do need some time or medical conditions or behavioral issues before we can put them on their journey to find a new home.
Yeah, so let's talk about Kai here. We can obviously see very friendly, but what would make him a good addition to someone's family home? Camera's that way, Kai. There you go.
So she's lovely. She's got great temperament. She's a really, really sweet dog. We're not quite sure what she is. She's about 9 months old. Don't think she'll get a whole lot bigger than what she is now. She's just an all-around good, sweet dog.
Yeah, and that's so great. You've got the foster, lots of kisses, the foster program for people who maybe want to house a pet before they get adopted. Tell us about how that works. How do people get involved in that?
So basically, first step with becoming a foster family is filling out one of our foster applications online, which can be found at spca.bc.ca/volunteer. And then you have kind of a little bit of an interview with us, and basically we usually don't have a lot of notice before we have animals needing foster. Okay. We have a foster email list, so you kind of email everybody else and see who can help us out.
And there you go, okay.
And we provide all the supplies and everything you need. You just need to have the time and the love.
Time to love. There's lots of that going around. And there's also quite a few dogs. They've announced 2 or 3 they're coming here in the next few days at the shelter. So lots of stuff going on here. All right, well, throwing to our next story here on Go Sea to Sky. Just like animals, another thing we're known for is our biodiversity. In this next story, we find out how one center is using this very landscape to get kids away from the screen and back outdoors.
I'm a strong believer that certain areas hold more energy or more certainly capacity for connecting, and this is one of those places.
That space, fittingly known as Paradise Valley, located just north of Squamish's city center, this hideaway includes over 400 acres of ecological reserve nestled along the Cheakamus River, a place one can expect to hear 3 of life's most vital sounds: water, birds,
Is there salmon in here? Well, that's a great question.
And learning.
We begin by walking along the dike, looking over the river, and it gives them a chance to really see the differences in those habitats. Part of what we're going to explore here is what it is that makes this place so special for the salmon.
Since 1969, the Cheakamus Center has served as an outdoor school for students, including this grade 3 North Vancouver class, to unplug from TVs, tablets, and any other electrical device and simply connect with the natural world. Today's lesson, salmon spawning.
We might really wonder how far they go.
The range of the programs for those students really depend on the season. They're here in September, October. We've got runs of pink salmon that are finishing off at that time, and following that, of course, the eagles arrive.
What I love about it is that it really is not just hands-on, but they really do participate in the functioning of the hatchery. So they'll be releasing the fry into the streams. In the winter time, they're actually catching the fish out of the streams.
Funded by the North Vancouver School District, Cheakamus Center is a truly integrated learning experience, with each of its grade 3 to 6 students eating, sleeping, and taking part in daily field studies on its Paradise Valley grounds as part of its 2 to 5 day programs.
Those are the baby fish. So they grow from an egg into a baby.
From learning about salmon cycles and surrounding forests, studying pond samples, caring for farm animals, and more.
It's fun, and they like it.
For the up to 100 Metro Vancouver students living at the center each week, each day brings an expanded curiosity and appreciation for the world around them.
It's like leather. Ho-ho, stay for an extra year in the streams. Learned a lot about how they catch and they count how many fish there are.
Let's go this guy here.
Handling frozen fish, the highlight activity for many of these kids.
It smelled really bad and it was really cold and it was really cool.
They come out with a much bigger connection to the actual places where we live. In a human-built environment, those connections are often hidden, but we rely on these things fundamentally.
That one's fun.
With many students returning 2 to 3 times throughout their elementary school years, each visit brings greater questions and learning for both sides.
That is a fantastic question. Why do they die after laying the egg? I'm actually learning from them regularly, and the questions are amazing. That's really what I'm trying to do. It's not about me just up here teaching and giving them all of this fact. It's more about getting them into the environment and building those questions for them. Back with their brothers and sisters.
With the center also offering Indigenous and sustainability programs for high school and adult students throughout the Sea to Sky corridor, when it comes to learning, just like its wide open landscape, the sky's the limit.
It's been recognized, certainly going back many, many years, that experiential education and outdoor environmental education in particular is just more engaging. We're so fortunate. We're on nearly 3 kilometers of riverfront on the Jacquemus River. It's a magical location. The scope with what we can be doing up here is really limitless.
If you'd like to tour Jacquemus Center's farm, hatchery, and all their other fun stuff going on there, be sure to take part in their open house taking place May 3rd at the center. For more information and to learn more about the group, you can visit the link on the bottom of the screen. Okay, well, we're back here inside the shelter. Kessler was here, your cute little family pet, checking on the cameraman there. But let's talk about the SPCA, Marika. It's completely run non-profit. Tell us about some events that happened in the community recently to raise money.
Yeah. So we just came off our first Pub Night for Pets fundraiser. It was quite a unique thing that came up. It was organized in conjunction with the local Capilano University event marketing students. So they organized the event for us, and we had a little hitches along the way, but last minute everything came together and it was really successful, and they did an amazing job for us.
Yeah, and you have another one. You're very busy here. 2 things women love, cats and wine. It's called Whiskers and Wine coming up.
It's actually July 3rd. Friday, July 3rd. This is our 3rd annual. Basically, we have live music, appies, desserts. You get a glass of wine as well, and it just turns out to be a really fun night. We have silent auction. It's held at the Brackendale Art Gallery, so we have a fabulous venue. Yeah, so it should just be a great time.
And people don't realize just that it's completely run off of donations.
Yes.
How much do you rely on that? Like, how vital is it?
It is huge. Without the public support, we would definitely not be here. We are funded almost 100% solely on donations. So yeah, and it gets expensive looking after that many animals a year.
Well, you were saying even alone dental costs for cats can be, upwards of thousands of dollars. So great to see the community support you're getting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, let's throw it to our last story of the day here. Many pets, of course, at the shelter come from all walks of life. Let's head on up to Whistler, where we learn about one unique program helping rehabilitate sled dogs.
Hi, Rebecca.
How are you doing?
Good seeing you again.
Good. I'm here to check on Barnes. How's he doing?
He's doing so good.
After spending his entire life as a sled dog in the States and Whistler, making the transition to family pet turned out to be a downright terrifying experience for 8-year-old Barnes.
The first 3 months of a dog's life we refer to as the socialization period. If they miss out on experiencing being handled by kids, getting on a bus, seeing what traffic looks like. When they're older and they experience this for the first time, it's overwhelming. The problem with Barnes, he was very, very fearful. Beyond the anxiety that we typically see with a lot of sled dogs, where they're just uncertain and unsure, Barnes was terrified.
Come on out, mister.
The Husky Shepherd Cross having spent the last year being cared for by Dr. Rebecca Ledger and staff here at the Whistler Animals Galore Shelter. Unlike traditional training methods, Dr. Ledger uses a clinical approach to treat rare cases such as Barnes and other sled dogs throughout the Lower Mainland.
What we're looking for is his emotional reaction to things. Because these issues are, they're akin to human psychiatry, the clinical way of looking at this is to understand what can we do beyond training here, what else does the dog need in order to recover from his mental illness.
Diagnosing, then pairing with veterinarians to come up with a treatment plan, including possible medications and daily exercises for staff like Lindsay to implement.
Introducing him to new people was kind of the first step with us, so that we would be able to have new people working with him. So the way that we did that was hand feeding him his meals. Sometimes we would take him for walks around the shelter before he was comfortable to leave the shelter.
He has a preference of peeing on grass, hey?
Yes, or on the dirt.
On the dirt,
yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Ledger checking in with Barnes every 2 months, undergoing simple measures such as petting,
oh, good boy,
feeding, and calling him to measure his psychological state and progress, tweaking the plan as she goes, with even the simplest of improvements a celebration.
Good boy.
This is the first time I've been able to pet him, and he's not looking terrified.
He's taking little steps each day. He's able to go for walks with probably over 10 different volunteers now, which is amazing. When he's on his walks, he's going further and further. He's made so many dog friends at the shelter.
With the center having rehomed 45 sled dogs throughout the years, Zeg among the current canines having also received Rebecca's care awaiting adoption at the Burnaby SPCA, her hope is to have more homeowners and caregivers learn to look deeper into pets' issues.
There's been more and more research coming out that shows us that dogs suffer from mental health issues that are akin to the same mental health issues that people can experience. Anxiety, depression, frustration. When we apply a clinical approach to dealing with these kind of problems with animals, the success rate definitely increases. At the end of the day, they're still dogs. And when they eventually transition into a home with a family, they become pet dogs. In fact, they're indistinguishable from the regular pet dog.
If you'd like to adopt Barnes, Zeg, or any other animals, be sure to contact whistlerwag.com for all the info. Okay, well, tons of info we've gone over today, Marika, about animals and everything. If people want to say they don't have the time or the space to adopt, but still want to give, you have your PAWS program. Tell us about that.
So the PAW plan is, it's a monthly donation program where you can specify $10, $20, $5 even, $100 to come out of your bank account once a month to go to support the SPCA.
Amazing.
So yeah, you can do that.
And better yet, if you want to adopt an animal, obviously we've seen some cute ones here today. There's more coming the next few months. Going to be busy in summer with the cats. How do people go about that?
Basically, they can contact us here at the shelter. Our email is squamish@spca.bc.ca, or give us a call, 604-898-9890. Also, if you want to look at adoptable animals online, you can go to spca.bc.ca. Search for adoptable animals, click on Squamish, or we have our social media, our Facebook page, which is quite popular too.
Or old-fashioned, come on, stop on by.
That as well is always good.
We forget about that, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Marika, for joining me. All right, that's it for our show today. We'd also like to know what stories you'd like to see on Go See the Sky, be it animals, people, places, events. You can also reach out to us on Twitter and Facebook at Go See the Sky. You can also view all of our stories on our YouTube channel in HD. Just visit youtube.com/Whistler Shaw. And stay tuned to our next show. One last thing, we'll tell you all about Pemberton's first upcoming run taking place in June. Until next time, I'm Vanessa Ybarra.